Hello, everybody. It's been a while since we had a study from Alexey Troitsky in this channel, so it's time again. I found a very interesting position here where white is to move and win this. This sure looks like a very clear draw, only queen and a rook each, no pawns defending, the kings are out in the open. Looks like this will always end in perpetual checks or something like that. But no, white can win this if you place it right. So, of course, we do as we always do. You post the video now and see if you can find out how white has to play to win this from here. Go ahead. And welcome back. Okay, of course, there's no point in moving the king anywhere. That will just give the initiative over to black. So we have to be aggressive and try to find something decisive here. So the natural move would be rook c2, and since this is the natural move, it's not winning. But let's see what happens. If black plays to b6 with the king, well, then we're very happy. We will get a checkmate here soon enough, like this. So he cannot do that. If he goes out in the open somewhere, it will allow us to start checking with the queen and get some lines here. This will win in the end for white. I'm not going through all the variations because that's not the best move either. So after the check on c2, black will simply play the king to b7. And now we're out of options. This looked like an interesting move, and then we want to go on with the rook to a2. But this is a very bad mistake because this allows black to put the rook in between, pinning our queen, and it turns out we're going to lose this. So we are not playing rook c2 check. We have to do something else. Queen to c1 doesn't give much. He will go to b7 also. Really out of checks. We can start try to find something here in the corner. I would say, or the computer would say, it's actually best for black just to block this with his rook. And since we cannot really attack, we can do something like this or here, but we'll allow black into the game with checks, and we're going to have a hard time just surviving this. It will lead to a draw, but nothing more. And starting with a check right away doesn't give us much either. The king can come to b6, and we really put our queen too far away in the corner. Cannot follow up with anything. So this is not winning either. So, what is winning? Well, let me show you. Of course, it's Troitsky. It has to be something spectacular, and it's a beautiful rook sacrifice. Rook e6 check. This is just amazing. Of course, the main line here is for black to take this, but let's see what happens if he doesn't. Well, if he plays the king to d7, attacking our rook, well, then we just win this rook from black. But we have to take it with the right piece. If we take it with the queen, this is just a draw because black will now be allowed to check and then grab this with his queen, and we're all set again for a draw. But if we grab it here, it's going to be long lines, obviously. But we will win in the end because queen and rook versus queen is a winning combination, but it might take a lot of moves before we can do it. But anyway, we have to prove that this is a winning combination, so we don't have to follow through all the way to checkmate. Okay, and if he goes away somewhere else with the queen, with the king, that's even worse. Then we can. Well, this is good enough. And we have a checkmate here actually, so that's not good. Okay, so let's see what happens if he grabs the rook. Now we just sacrifice our rook. We are down a rook and a queen versus a queen. But of course, we have a plan. So if you didn't find the solution before, now is another chance for you to post a video and see if you can see how white wins from here. Go ahead. Okay, here we go. Well, of course, we have to keep on checking. That's the only way. And we're going to grab this queen sooner or later. And the way we do it is to start with queen a6 check. Has to come there. If we do something else, this is just too slow. The king can come to d7. We don't have much left, and we just down a rook. If we try something like this, king comes to c7, we are losing. We don't have anything that wins the queen. No, we have to start with queen a6 here. And you see, of course, if it goes down to the 7th rank, something like this, we check and we win the queen. So the king will be forced up to d5. But we have a beautiful plan. This check doesn't give us anything. King comes to e4 and he will escape. We don't win anything. Instead, we have to go back to c4 to really force him up again. Or if he goes to e5, well, then we get a check. And this is a square. We're going to win the queen and we're going to be happy. If he comes up here, oh, sorry, not there. Mouse slip. Here we go. Check. One move only. And we follow up with queen a7. And we're going to win the queen. And now we're in this position where we have a queen versus a rook, which is, according to the book, a victory for white. But in theoretical or in practical play, it takes a lot of work. But still, it is a win for white if played right. All right, thank you. That was this little study for today. Of course, we start with a spectacular rook sacrifice and we work our way up from there. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.